De oro, date un shot de cloro, loro para la digestión. Que lo mío es cuestión de tiempo y el tiempo da la razón. Yo tengo el sazón, hora de apretar el botón. Gracias a todo el que apoya de corazón.
I mean, I think that's a perfect way to explain JJ. He treats you as an equal. He'll never look down on you or treat you like you're...
¿Qué te hizo irte por el baloncesto?
Esta es una pregunta que es la primera vez que la voy a contestar live.
Yo pienso que yo soy quien soy hoy en día en el baloncesto gracias a dos personas, a Monchi, que en paz descanse, y a Martín de León.
Que estaba con Arroyo en el mismo equipo y no me lo quisieron dar, no me quisieron llevar y ganamos.
¿Qué tú crees que pasó?
Pues no sé, parece que no me hice cerquillo ese día, me veía feo, no me quisieron montar en el avión.
Un momento que nunca voy a olvidar en mi carrera y ella fue la única razón por la cual yo jugué en Puerto Rico. Yo me quería ir para Europa desde...
Y viendo como Miami trata a sus jóvenes, me debí haber quedado en Miami. Porque lo que me pasó en Dallas fue una injusticia.
Esto fue como que la cherry en el cheesecake, ¿me entiendes?
¿Entiendes?
Que la cherry no es tan grande. Así es que yo lo veo.
Dame el celular. Y yo, no, coach, yo lo voy a poner en el camerino, mala mía. No, déjame verlo. Tacho, lo cogió. ¿Cuántas veces yo he dicho a la gente que apaguen los celulares y lo dejen? Pues todo el mundo, no, es verdad. Tacho, cogió el celular, metí con 3 pisos. ¡Pam!
Después del juego 5 se me pega el vikingo. Oye, la próxima quincena es tuya, ¿oíste?
Coming from, I came from a Division II college. I didn't play at a big time school, so I don't have the big name and the big resume that other players have. But I know I can play. I mean, basketball is basketball. It don't matter where you come from. So
I had 21 in a row, 30 points in the third quarter. A couple of seconds before the third quarter is over, I fouled the guy and I walked myself to the bench and sat down. I said, I'm not playing no more.
¿Cómo te digo? Yo empecé ganándomelo, Iván. Yo pienso que gracias a Dios pues yo me he ganado los minutos, me he ganado el respeto de los muchachos, que sabe que es algo que me he ganado el respeto de Gary.
Those young hoopers out there, what would it be?
Don't practice what you don't want to be.
Esto es traído a ustedes gracias a Sportify.lo. Si usted está buscando representación legal, asesoría financiera o si eres un jugador profesional y estás buscando representación legal de un personal certificado por la FIBA, el licenciado Esteban Aguilera es el hombre que tú estás buscando. El licenciado Esteban Aguilera lo puedes buscar a través de las redes sociales como @Sportify.lo y es quien hace posible este proyecto de Catch and Shoot Puerto Rico. Bueno, bienvenidos una vez más a otro episodio de Pick and Pot. Esta vez tenemos en entrevista al recién firmado dirigente de los Mets de Guaynabo, Xavier Silas, va a estar con nosotros compartiendo, ¿verdad? Así que gracias a toda la fanática que nos está sintonizando en la noche de hoy y recordarles también que estos episodios siempre están disponibles el próximo día tempranito en la mañana por Apple, Spotify y todas las plataformas de audio. Y todos los domingos, recuerden que usted tiene un compromiso a las 8 de la noche en vivo en Pick and Pot, tu programa favorito con todo lo que tenga que ver con el baloncesto boricua y todas las novedades. Bueno, sin más preámbulo, vamos a darle la bienvenida, ¿verdad? Mi nombre es Iván Rodríguez Vega, como siempre, para Catch and Shoot Puerto Rico, a Xavier Silas. Xavier, good night. Nice having you here on Pick and Pot, the podcast of Catch and Shoot. How you doing?
I appreciate you having me, man. All I want to do is be able to be on that intro one day. That intro, I like that intro, man. Y'all did a good job on that.
Thank you. That's a few players and basketball figures that we have had here on the podcast, and so it's a really good stuff we have on our channel. Xavier, so you're new to the league. People want to know who's Silas, who's Xavier, where did he came from, what he's gonna bring to the league. He's a young coach, all right. And I've been seeing, looking at your a few stuff you have been on, and I can see that you have been on different roles during basketball, not just as a former player or now on the coaching portion, but in a few areas. So I want you to talk us a little bit about who's Xavier, where he comes from. What about Xavier? Talk about you a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, I grew up in a basketball family, you know, just a lot like the Dalmau brothers, right? They grew up, their dad played. My dad played as well. And then, you know, I started playing. You know, I played for a very long time, 9 years professionally. And then I started coaching. And in those coaching roles, I was always captains of my team when I played. But now in the coaching roles, I did everything from player development to running the defense, to running the skill development, to running the offense. And so most recently, I was running the offense for the Sixers G League team and the Detroit Pistons G League team. And now this is my next stop of being a head coach with the Guaynabo Mets.
And this will be your first experience as a coach.
My first head coaching experience, yeah.
Head coaching experience. All right, yeah, because you just said that you got a coach, offensive coach. How do you get this this opportunity to be the head coach of Guaynabo?
I think just a reputation thing, you know. As a player, I was always a hard worker. I always did the right things, showed up early, very responsible. And then as a coach, that kind of carried over, right? And I think a lot of people started to talk. I've had a top 5 offense in the G League for the last 2 years. I've had a few head coaching opportunities, or I should say interviews for Division I basketball, some head coaching interviews for the G League as well. So, you know, I think that it's just people talk. You know, basketball is a small world, man. A lot of people talk, and so I was able to connect with the owners, connect with the GM, and we found common ground, and I'm excited to be here.
That's great. Xavier, what about the BSN? Have you heard of the league before? Because you know there's a few players of the BSN that they jump from here either for the NBA or for the G League. So probably you have heard of the league before. Have you heard of the league before?
Of course, you know, a lot of people that I know very well have played in that league. You know, I know Rondé Hollis Jefferson very well. Of course, I played with David Stockton on Team USA. You know, I know Ramon Clemente. You know, I played against the Puerto Rican national team for the World Cup qualifiers. So I know some of those guys as well. You know, the BSN is I've had offers to play there as a player. So I've done my research a lot. You know, one thing about the BSN is it's very, very tactical. They have very good coaches there. There's a lot of good coaches and a lot of former players that are coaches. Pachi, Ayuso, Dalmau, Casiano, all those guys, you know, they are very, very good coaches along with everyone else. So it's known, you know, in the States, people know that Puerto Rico is a very, very good league. That's its reputation here in the States.
Yeah, and as you were saying, there's a lot of coaches right now. I would say a good 75-80% of the coaches are former players. We can say like yeah, you say Ayuso, Dalmau, Eric Rodriguez. There's a couple of them, most of them. If I would say it would be easier to count the ones that were not pro players, like Carlito Gonzalez from Carolina and Alan Scolon. But the other ones, most of them are former players.
Right.
I think that's a trending situation right now in Puerto Rico. And now you, as a former player as well, on the line. That's a very interesting point. All right. So you told me you have done your research, all right, about the BSN. So I know it probably be a fact that you've been following the last couple seasons of Guaynabo and how they did their rosters. What can you tell me about this last few years of Guaynabo and this specifically this last season where it was a little bit of it was not the best season for them?
Well, we all know what happened last season. We know what happened the season before, right? They went to the playoffs. They went to the championship. It was close, and so my thing is looking a little bit further back than the last 2 years and looking back into the 80s and 90s when Quixote Morales and Fico Lopez. Like I want to bring that back to Guaynabo, right? And so I'm thinking, it's good to see the recent history, but I want to repeat the big history, right? Back in the day. And so that's my goal. That's my focus. My focus is to bring fans back. I know Guaynabo took a little time off, I want to bring them back. I want to get them excited. I want to have Guaynabo be one of the toughest places to play. It's very important that we create an atmosphere where it's very hard for them, for other teams to come in and win at our house, right? And so that's one of my main focuses is getting the fans together, getting the fans back. Even if I have to go to the tablado, before and after the game to get them going, we're gonna make it happen, all right?
That's I can tell you done a good research though. Getting into the tablado. Xavier, so that's amazing. You're telling me that you want to bring that that passion and probably I would say this last 2 seasons that was all about going back in time and bringing back that fans love that they identify with the franchise, that they get really into the league and following it, and because I would say before 2021 when a few big Puerto Rican singers they did a good thing here in investing and bringing more different, changing the culture, innovating the courts and the stuff and making great teams, and that was a very good injection for the fans. And I would say we have the last 2 years, the fan engagement and the reach, it increased a lot. All right, so you have seen the rosters a couple seasons ago, right?
Yeah.
Right now there's a trade on the table, all right, where Jay-Sean Page will be on Guaynabo. But I want to ask you, because I know you were on the G League, right, to 2019 and 2020, 21, 2022, right? So did you play against, as a coach, right? Played against Jay-Sean Page, or have you seen him on G League before this trade comes up, or it was just now?
No, we played against Jay-Sean Page twice, maybe even 3 times. And it's a funny story. When we did play Jay-Sean right before Christmas, we played against him and he went crazy. He had 30-something points. He was really unstoppable that game. We won the game, but he was virtually unstoppable. And after we played them, the Detroit Pistons called him up. That's how good he played. So he was our NBA team, called him up after we played him. And I'm excited, if the trade goes through. That's kind of above my head, right? But at the end of the day, if he's with Guaynabo, then I'm very excited because I've seen what he can do up close and personal in the league and in the NBA.
Yeah, I think it was a 38 point or something, 38 piece game, something like that. It was I remember that game. So we're talking about Page. He's a hell of a player. 3 seasons. He has scored average double figures each of his seasons, and he's one of those guys that we have great expectations. He's a great player, and we would like to see this young hooper with another young hooper, Taekwon Rolon. He's another great player, and he got the opportunity at Guaynabo. He won a championship 2019, but he didn't get he was not on the rotation.
Mhm.
So, but it was a good experience. And now with Guaynabo, he got another bigger role. And I'm excited about how would you use these guys on your game. How I mean, you've been thinking about this, right?
Right.
How would you combine these guys together?
One thing is just holding them responsible, right? And like you said, we have expectations for them. You have those expectations, but I have those expectations too. And holding them to that, holding them to that standard and giving them the freedom to achieve that, it's very important that I give them the confidence that they need to go out there and do what they need to do, give them the freedom that they need to go out there and do what they need to do. But also holding them responsible to do the best thing for the team. Our whole thing is everybody has to do everything that they do for the team, right? It can't be for individual. We can't be selfish because we're very talented. I know we're talking about just two guys, but there's a lot of people on that team that are good. John Hahn, Balkman, EJ, Basabe. It's a lot of players that we can get a lot of things out of, and I'm missing a few as well,
Yes.
The whole group. And so for us to be able to do that, everybody has to be on the same page and put the team first. So that's it's balance, right? Put the team first, but also play with freedom and confidence to go out there and do what you do. And luckily, I was a player, and I know what that balance looks like, and so that's what we'll find it as a team together.
Sure, that's a tough position for you as well. You've been there before. You know how it has been inside of the court. It's different when you see the game from the line or from outside. But you know how it is. Have you talked with a few players from the team, or as of now?
Yeah. I've talked to pretty much everyone, all the players, except Jay Sean because it's not official with him, but with everyone else, man, I've talked to them. I've been able to have a pretty good conversation with them, and everyone's excited. I was the same conversation I'm having with you, I had with them. Like we have to be able to sacrifice to come together to win this championship, right? And I know that they were very close. I know that that's their goal because they were there close before. And now that has to be my goal. It feels like we have some unfinished business, in Guaynabo. And everyone kind of feels that way. And so we're all on the same page with that, and we're going to get together and make it happen.
Yeah, there's I've talked to a few Mets fans, and they are like that. They were so close to on those finals, so they are like they're missing something. How about the imports players? Because last couple seasons they have got some great imports players that they've been amazing, and there've been very great impact on the team, on the winning. And how about your philosophy? Have you been thinking about what positions? If there's a couple names, if you can mention them that you have think about bringing to the team, or that's too early to bring that on the table?
Yeah, it's kind of early for that. We're still putting the staff together. It's really early for that. And then I think that it'll affect it if they vote on adding a third import. Which is a possibility that affects the positions and what we're looking for where. So I think it's a little bit early for that until we have some more information. But at the same time, we're trying to win. We're trying to win that too. We're trying to get as good of players as we possibly can for us to go and win this championship. I'm with the fans. I feel all the research that I've done, everything that I've watched, all that I know with the players and the roster and the talent. Like I feel like there's some unfinished business, and we have a chance too. So I'm doing everything in my power to be as prepared and as organized as possible so we can come in and do what we need to do.
Xavier, yeah, it's real early, right? And but I want to ask you, is there any other changes on the table besides the bringing JP to the roster of Guaynabo, or that's what it is for now?
I think that's what it is for now. You never know. Off season, and it can get crazy sometimes, but sometimes nothing ever happens. You know what I mean? And so we're gonna sit there. We're gonna finish the staff. We're gonna figure out how we can be as prepared as possible to go and try to finish that business. But I think it's too early to even tell that.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, because as you said, it's bit of a earlier, and sometimes off season can get crazy. Like
right.
Like last week, I think it was like 2 weeks ago. It was a crazy week. A lot of stuff came up, and the week before that, it was like nothing on the radar, nothing. And then the next week was like, oh wow, there's a lot of things happening, and we didn't know. What kind of coach are you, if you can tell? You're more of a defensive coach, more of a offensive coach. How would you describe that of your philosophy?
Yeah, I think you have to have balance if you're trying to be successful. You can't just be all in on one and then completely neglect the other side, right? And so I think I'm pretty balanced in that regard. Offense is important, and I've also ran the offense for the last 2 years. So the offense is, of course, you have to score more points than the other team to win. Right? So there's that, but then there's also, you can't allow the other team to score more than you, right? And so balance, and I would answer that question with, of course I'm a player's coach, because I played, but I'm also one with the analytics. I'm a little bit new school with that. Analytically, we're going to take the best shots we possibly can. We're not going to take the tough ones that have a low percentage of shots or a low percentage chance of making it. And then defensively, it's the same thing. We're not going to give up shots that have a high percentage of really hurting you, and then we're going to try to force them into the tough shots that have low percentages. So, at the end of the day, it's simply complex, I would say, on how I approach the game.
Got it. And you'll obviously will have some situations, and you'll read and go. And been said that, have you seen the pace that B is in place? There's just a few, just one or two teams that really play half court game, and they run their offense as it should. How would you work with that? Let's say you will run most of the time, or you will play half court.
Oh no, we're gonna run. I've had in my offices for the last 2 years, I've had a top 5 pace, right? Our pace is always fast. And so we're gonna run. I think my style offensively definitely fits into BSN style on how they play. And so, I've played in Argentina, played in the G League. Those two places are pretty fast paced. And we'll continue to push that pace, and hopefully we're one of the faster teams.
That's what I wanted to get, right? Yeah. That's what I wanted to get. The fans of the Mets of Guaynabo, what should they expect from Xavier Silas?
We're gonna play together. We're gonna play hard. We're gonna play smart. That's the biggest thing. And there's a sense of pride that I have for Guaynabo. It's the sports capital of Puerto Rico. The museum is there, right? Like I want the fans to have pride and have something to look forward to and something to brag about. You know what I mean? And so you can expect that I'm going to work extremely hard in order to do that. But also I want to be a part of the community as well. I want to get to know the community that we're representing. So I'll be there. I'm trying to come early. and meet some people. I want to meet Mayor Hector O'Neill. You know, I want to do all of that stuff because I think it's very important to have a relationship with the community that we're representing.
Yeah, you have said that a few times here, like you want to get involved with the community. You want to get that identity for the fans to bring that up to the team as well.
I think it's important, you know, like you have to know who you're representing. You have to know the community in order to get, you know, the identity. Like you said, the identity. We have to know our identity and what better inspiration than from the fans, you know? And so that's important. We're going to need the fans. They're going to be very important to what we do and the wins that we have. And so, you know, I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to knowing exactly who is behind us and who's with us.
That's cool. Xavier, I want to thank you for your time here with us. I really appreciate that. I think I can say that I've talked to you that probably Guaynabo will be in good hands, and I wish you the best on the line. I'm going to tell you, BSN is tough. It gets tough. Yeah. It's a tough league, and it will be a fun year for sure. It will be a great season coming up next. And last but not least, how a message for your roster, for your games, for your players. I'm sorry, for your players. What would you say to your players right now?
Oh man, it's nothing that I haven't already said to them. They know the vibes. They know the energy that we have, right? They know that we're coming to do something special. Just for everybody, it's just Son Los Mets, right? Son Los Mets. That's all I have to say.
You got the hashtag already. All right, Xavier, thank you for your time again here. Hey, Catch and Shoot is your house. Whenever you want to spend time with us, have anything you wanted to express to the people, to the fans, to BSN, the league, whatever, we are here for you.
I appreciate that. Catch and shoot. That's what I used to do towards the end of my career. So that's
oh, we can say you catch and shoot certified then.
Absolutely.
I must post some clips of Catch and Shoot certified Xavier Silas.
There's some highlights out there. You'll see it. It's a flamethrower. You'll see it.
All right. Aquí a toda la fanaticada del baloncesto en Puerto Rico, con nosotros Xavier Silas, nuevo dirigente de los Mets de Guaynabo, con nosotros aquí en Catch and Shoot Pick and Pot, el podcast favorito de toda la fanática del baloncesto superior nacional. Nos vemos el domingo, que el programa viene calientito. Hoy también salió la noticia. Oh, by the way, Xavier, today was out the official date for start of the season.
March 22nd.
We are 160 days to go for BSN. So we are excited. All right. So all the people, thank you for being here with us. We'll see you Sunday, 8 p.m. with Pick and Pot, the weekly basketball. See you next time.
De oro, date un shot de cloro, loro pa' la digestión, que lo mío es cuestión de tiempo y el tiempo da la razón. Yo tengo el sazón, hora de apretar el botón, gracias a todo el que apoya de corazón. I
mean, I think that's a perfect way to explain JJ. He treats you as an equal. He'll never look down on you or treat you like you're...
¿Qué te hizo irte por el baloncesto?
Esta es una pregunta que es la primera vez que la voy a contestar live.
Yo pienso que yo soy quien soy hoy en día en el baloncesto gracias a dos personas. A Monchi, que en paz descanse, y a Martín de León.
Que estaba con Arroyo en el mismo equipo y no me lo quisieron dar, no me quisieron llevar y ganamos.
¿Qué tú crees que pasó ahí?
Pues no sé, parece que no me hice cerquillo ese día, me veía feo, no me quisieron montar en el avión.
Un momento que nunca voy a olvidar en mi carrera y ella fue la única razón por la cual yo jugué en Puerto Rico. Yo me quería ir para Europa desde...
Y viendo como Miami trata a sus jóvenes, me debí haber quedado en Miami. Porque lo que me pasó en Dallas fue una injusticia.
Esto fue como que la cherry en el cheesecake, ¿me entiendes?
¿Entiendes?
Que la cherry no es tan grande. Así es que yo lo veo.
Dame el celular. Y yo, no, coach, yo lo voy a poner en el camerino, mala mía. No, déjame verlo. Tacho, lo cogió. ¿Cuántas veces yo he dicho a la gente que apaguen los celulares y lo dejen? Pues todo el mundo, no, es verdad. Choco, yo el celular me metí con 3 pisos. ¡Pam!
Después del juego 5 se me pega el vikingo. Oye, la próxima quincena es tuya, ¿oíste?
Coming from, I came from a Division II college. I didn't play at a big time school, so I don't have the big name and the big resume that other players have. But I know I can play. I mean, basketball is basketball. It don't matter where you come from. So
I had 21 in a row, 30 points in the third quarter. A couple of seconds before the third quarter is over, I fouled the guy and I walked myself to the bench and sat down. I said, I'm not playing no more.
¿Cómo te digo? Yo empecé ganándomelo, Iván. Yo pienso que gracias a Dios pues yo me he ganado los minutos, me he ganado el respeto de los muchachos, que sabe que es algo que me he ganado el respeto de Gary.
Those young hoopers out there, what would it be?
Don't practice what you don't want to do.
Esto es traído a ustedes gracias a Sportify.lo. Si usted está buscando representación legal, asesoría financiera, o si eres un jugador profesional y estás buscando representación legal de un personal certificado por la FIBA, el licenciado Esteban Aguilera es el hombre que tú estás buscando. El licenciado Esteban Aguilera lo puedes buscar a través de las redes sociales como @Sportify.lo. Y es quien hace posible este proyecto de Catch and Shoot Puerto Rico.